Hey teachers, do you lie awake in horribly dramatised black and white slow motion, thinking about your next literacy lesson? Well, our lesson plans are about to bring back the colour. Our purpose-built literacy lesson isn't just incredibly convenient for teachers to implement, it's also the perfect way to keep your students engaged. Well, perfect would work better if I was a cat. Our lesson will be structured around the beautifully illustrated children's book, Red Tree, from Australian author Sean Tan. Before I tell you about the learning sequence, I quickly want to tell you about this fantastic book. Tan uses beautifully abstract illustrations, which are complemented by a hauntingly economical use of text to address emotional issues such as depression and alienation, feelings which children at a stage 2 to 3 level may be experiencing for the first time in their lives. Well, that sure got my tail wagging. Our lesson package will focus on developing students' competence in two main areas, visual and critical literacy. Critical literacy is where readers are encouraged to consider who or what is missing in a text and what this may reveal about prevailing issues of power. Readers may also consider alternative stances and ways to interact with the text itself. One simple example of a critical literacy-based question is what is Tan's purpose for using the same phrase 7 times in a row? This is just one of the many thought-provoking questions that you as a teacher will have access to if you invest in our amazing product. Visual literacy is the ability to interpret and use design elements of visual text and understand how they can be used for purposes in specific contexts. An example of a question that addresses these skills is, how does Tan contrast sepia tones and vibrant colours to create meaning on page 4? Well, critical and visual literacy sound like some very handy overarching skills, but you might be wondering, how are we going to scaffold students' development throughout the lesson, as well as cater to students of differing ability levels? Well, our lesson package will include 3 tiers of comprehension questions: literal, inferential, and evaluative. Literal questions deal with information that is easily identifiable, and for this reason, literal questioning is a great way to get students' minds engaged with the text at the beginning of a lesson. Inferential questioning deals with analysing the explicit information of a text for implied meaning. Evaluative questioning involves critically and visually examining the text to discuss key points that go beyond the text. Because of the higher order social constructivist thinking demonstrated through this type of questioning, we suggest that teachers use this as a form of informal, formative assessment at the conclusion of their lessons. As if that wasn't enough to provide your students with a meaningful lesson, for a one-time only offer, we're willing to throw in Luke and Freebody's 4-resource model for reading and viewing. The 4-resource model allows readers to engage with text as text decoders, text participants, text users, or text analysts. Each one of the 150 question options in our teaching sequence, which can be used as either discussion catalysts or for individual written work, will be color-coded depending on what category of the 4-resource model they fall under. Our lesson plan also gives teachers a range of options that cater for the inclusivity of Indigenous cultures. These include recreating red tree illustrations into Indigenous style paintings and writing journal entries that deal with the themes of the book from an Indigenous perspective. I'm sure you're all thinking that age-old question, how much is all of this going to cost? Today you could have our entire package, which includes a copy of Red Tree, 150 color-coded scaffolded questions and our suggested learning sequence, as well as a tailored marking criteria for the unbelievably affordable price of $29.95. So don't wait, pick up your phone and dial 13Teach to bring some colour back into your lessons.